Now, at first glance, this may look like an ordinary DIY project. And it sort of was, because it was recycled from stuff I found around my house. Picture frames, thread, stuff like that. But this simple creative project actually turned into something a little unexpected. It taught me a life lesson that I carry with me almost every single day. And I want to share that with you. Hi. Hello. It's Chitty. Now, if you see my DIY projects, you know that I love turning trash into treasure. But this project almost did not make it. It almost didn't make the light of day because I thought it wasn't worth showing. But then I realized that its imperfections were actually the reason why it should be shown. Because this box is a little bit like life. Sometimes things don't go as planned, and that's exactly when we learn the most. Now, before I even started making this box, I had a very clear vision in mind. I wanted a big, crisp bow. I wanted so much garland. This looked like a stuffed animal, like a stuffed pillow. And I wanted the ribbon to like tie in everything and make it look very stuffed, almost like the side of like outpouring, you know? I even wanted to put LED lights so that they would shine through and this present box would even like glow. For the foundations, I had planned to use picture frames from like my older DIY video and just glue everything together. But from the very beginning of this project, everything went wrong. I had all the materials, but like no matter what I did, the frames wouldn't stay together. I even tried scoring the insides to provide more grip. And no matter how much glue I applied to these frames, this wouldn't stay intact. I ended up using thread and glue to try to piece everything together. Now, gluing down the garland was actually very easy. It went smoothly. But the bow, oh my gosh, it was horrendous. It was nothing how I imagined it. I want it to be big. I want it to be structured, you know, to be almost the center of attention as far as the entire box. But it was floppy. That's not how I wanted it. That's not how I intended it to be, you know? And honestly, when I finished this project, I hated it. I wouldn't throw it away. I was so frustrated. But here's the thing, it still shines. It's still silver and blue like how I wanted it. And it still has a bow. Not the exact bow that I wanted, but the bow nonetheless. And here's the thing, it may not be perfect, but that's okay. Now, working on this box actually reminded me of a time where something else in my life did not go as planned. And it actually ended up teaching me something as well. Picture this. Nearly a decade ago, I was like 15 years old. And I live in like the suburbs where like, if you can imagine, white picket fences and multiple cars in the driveway kind of thing. But for me, I walked 2.5 miles to get to the bus, at least one time a week, to teach private violin lessons across town. And let me tell you, the bus ride was like an hour each way. But that's not the point. The point is, one day, for the very first time, I found myself taking the city bus. Now, when I stepped onto the transfer bus, I froze. Because I looked down and there was a machine that I had no idea how to use, just staring right back at me. I looked at the bus driver with my card in my hand and I was like, what do I do with this? I'm basically pleading with my eyes at this point. No response. I looked back down, swiping my card every which way, flipping it around, flipping it back around, trying to figure out this contraption and how I can get onto the bus and take my seat. I'm still swiping. I look at the bus driver. Again, looking for help in my eyes, but not speaking with any words because my eyes should be able to tell everything. No response. I look back down and I keep swiping. I'm doing it. I'm frustrated at this point. But finally I hear a beep. And the color turns green. And I look back up. And you know what the bus driver said to me? He said, life isn't always going to give you the answer. Sometimes you have to search for them. I wanted you to learn something today. I never really thought about those words, even after like I went and I sat down in my seat. And honestly, I forgot about that for a really long time. But it wasn't until a couple months ago where I was trying to like work on my life and trying to fix different aspects of my life that wasn't really aligned with where I wanted to be and how I wanted things to be. And then it hit me that again, sometimes in life you have to search for the answers. It's not gonna just be handed to you. And every day since then, I have thought about that. And I think about it each time I'm trying to rearrange things in my life, that I have to search for the answers. And I know that we all had times like that in our lives where we're frustrated, we're trying to figure out the answer. And it just feels like we're not getting there, But I want to tell you that during that process of you trying to figure that out, with you swiping your card left and right, back and forth, every which way, that is a time in which we grow. And that's something I wanted to remind you of today. Life is a lot like the bus ride. Sometimes it doesn't give you clear instructions. Sometimes you have to figure things out as you go. And that's where growth happens. When I was younger, I struggled to figure out how to get that card to work, just like I did with this project. I struggled on getting it to look right, and making it work. But the project, it wasn't perfect. It took a lot of trial and error and a lot of patience. But at the end of it, something meaningful came out of both the present box and the bus ride. Normally in my DIY projects, I give you all the tools, the steps, the materials to create something out of nothing. But today I actually want to take a different approach. Like that bus driver I met many years ago. I'm not going to give you the step-by-step instructions to create something, because at the end of the day, you already have everything you need to create something amazing, even if it takes a few tries to get there. So before we part ways today, I want you to know that no matter how many times we fumble or things don't go as planned, there's always an opportunity to learn, start over, or even create something new. You are capable. Never forget that. What's something you figured out after fumbling through it? Let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear your story. Alrighty. I'll see you next time.